Woo, what's going on? Yo, it's Terrell, Hall of Fame, D-Line, TBKC, and all that other sweet, beautiful, wonderful shit. Now check it out. This question was how far removed, and how far removed with bad genes is safe, in a dog. So basically the question is if it's a certain dog that you don't like, it's shaky, you're just like, man, I don't know, but you like what's in front of you, but you see this dog that you don't like in the pedigree, how far back tends to be safe to go ahead and start breeding this dog? This is not all the way scientific, but there were some scientific principles to this, and the reason why I say it is I don't like to state something that's truly just like 100% fact, when even with a little bit of science applied to it, we see some disagreements, and that's in the cattle world or the horse world. But this is what we'll say about this, and I believe it too. The more I see it, I say once you get the puppies down to say great grandparent status, okay? If you got the puppies down to great grandparent status, that means that the puppies are going to be roughly 12.5%. I've seen several rules where they say 10% of that dog, you know what I mean, you start to sort of wash it out. It's a very, very low chance that this dog, is going to affect your gene pool strongly if it's only 10% of his blood in there. And that'll push, of course, to the next time you do the breeding, it's going to take it down to roughly, like 6%. So you're getting closer. So those puppies, those puppies will only have 10% of that dog's blood. Their puppies only have 6%. And then we go down to 3% after that. And you're pretty much at this point where it's like, damn dog is irrelevant. So I guess what you would be saying is, if it's a dog that you don't like in the pedigree, the absolute, of course, I would not go with a offspring, but the absolute like highest you would go up is a grandkid, and it's another variable to this. If you don't like that dog and it's a grandkid of that dog, okay, you got to look at the rest of the pedigree to make sure that every other dog in this pedigree is complementing getting rid of the things that you don't like about that other dog, because that's going to be a big factor. Because you have to remember, say if this dog, had bad hips, for example. If the dog has bad hips, now, okay, yeah, the puppies will only have 10% of his blood, but what about those other, 12%, 12.5, but what about those other 12.5s in the pedigree? Are they bringing bad hips? Because now you've compounded the issue, and it's not what you would think. It's not going to be just 25% if it was 2 of them in there. Okay, 2 out of the 8, oh, yes, 25% of that. No, that's not the way it works, because now you've multiplied on that gene, and it actually makes it a lot stronger, and it makes it a harder push towards the front to where you can see this problem come more. You can turn, you can turn a minor problem into a major problem fast, So you want to be absolute that in this day and age, we all have dogs, and we see dogs come around that we really don't too much like this dog in the pedigree, and that's fine. In the American bully world, the gene pool is so small, you get stuck with some dogs that you just like, but I love this male, or I love this bitch, but what's going to happen? So learning how to work with it is okay, I've got a grandparent in here that I don't like the breeding, so if I put the breeding in here, we're going to have 4 grandparents. Out of these 4 grandparents, and and everybody going forward, as far as the parents go, where do I stand at with this hip gene, or whether it's eyes, it could be something very cosmetic like round eyes. And then you want to start to do a little more research going behind those grandparents to the great grandparents and the great grandparents, to see if any of these flaws were behind any of the other dogs. Because you also have to remember that although the front line of the grandparents might not show the genes you want to check behind them too, because what if the grandparent that looks good doesn't have the bad hips, but he has a parent that had bad hips? I think one of the examples that we can use is a dog like Remy. Remy actually had good hips, didn't have well, as far as I know, he had good hips. He didn't never look like he labored with his hips issues. And Remy dogs generally are not known for having bad hips. But Remy's father, Blue of Ruckus, had probably some of the worst hips that we've ever seen in the American bully world. His hips were terrible. So you would not breed, and y'all may have heard me say that, but you probably wouldn't breed a dog like Remy to another dog that's known for having bad hips or hip issues, or even, rear end structure issues, because you're doubling up on genetics that is going to push forward. And once you really, really embed this shit into your gene pool, you're gonna have a rough time getting it out. And I'm talking about you talking about dedicating 5, 6, 7 years to trying to get this out. Whereas if you're dedicated and you study your pedigree very, very strongly, and you make the decision to go forward up front, now you're progressively getting away from that gene and lowering the percentage the whole way. But you always remember, the moment that you decide to put this gene back in there, you didn't just do it by a small percentage. You multiplied this pretty strong and made it very, very active and pulled that gene back up front. So any of the traits that we want to, as we strive to breed for perfection, we must, absolutely must, eliminate as much as possible. I understand this breed is a little beat up. We've got a lot of beat up dogs that will come here and there and everywhere. But if we're going to breed that stuff, we have to make sure that we're headed in the right direction. It doesn't have to be all sunshine, butterflies and roses and all that good stuff right now. But our progression has to be headed towards that. And let's not go backwards anymore. Let's tighten up these skins. Let's make some structurally sound dogs, some healthy dogs, and only breed that going forward, and we'll see some success. Hopefully this video helped out some. I'm looking forward to doing some live videos. I'm looking forward to doing the podcast and being more active on here, man. God bless all y'all. Y'all stay safe. Peace.